Hi guys, this is the textbook we're going to use. So you're going to go to the link that I gave you, and we're going to be using this beginning chemistry book. And we're going to, this is going to be your main information besides lectures about how to do all of the things in chemistry. And I'd like you to use the book as much as you can. It will help you a lot. So you might want to get onto a schedule where you read a little bit every day. In chemistry, it's better to do a little bit each day and practice a little small section every day, a little bite, than trying to just cram at the end of a module or a section of our class, because this just doesn't go in anyone's brain, even mine. I need to take little small bits of chemistry and figure out how each part works. So it'd be good if you just set up a schedule for yourself for reading. This is our textbook, and so this is the main page, and it's going to have all of the chapters in there. So when I say chapter 1, you're going to go up to chapter 1 at the beginning, and then click on it, and then you're going to read each section. And at the end of each chapter is where I put the homework. So for example, you're going to start with the What is Chemistry section. There's always an opening essay, and then they tell you what they want you to learn. So in this first section, you're going to learn about how to describe matter. And so this is important to know what matter is. And these blue questions are questions you can do for yourself and test yourself. I'm not collecting these though. I'm collecting the ones at the end of each chapter. This part right here, physical properties, is very important, and people have trouble with this on when we have quizzes about what's the difference between a physical property and what's a chemical property. So I need you guys to focus on this in the lecture that I have for chapter 1, and also read the book and get an idea of what these two things are, because there's usually a multiple choice question in quizzes and tests that talk about chemical and physical properties. So you're going to keep going through each one of these things, each one of these parts of the chapter, and read. And there's example problems, and the example problems are really good because they will help you understand how to do the math problems, especially in this book. When you get done with the first section, then you're going to go to the next. They call them chapters, but it's just going to be a section. And it's gonna, it's gonna be each chapter, that's correct. But each, when you want to go to a section, then go to the table of contents, and then go to the next section. So this is the next section of chapter 1. And just click on it, and then you're gonna get to the next place. So you might want to bookmark this in your computer, or your phone, or whatever device you're using for reading. And then, you'll have it for yourself, and you can look at it anywhere. So let's go to the end of each chapter. Is where I put the homework. So when you want to do the homework, you're going to go to the very last section. So for chapter 1, it's going to be this section. For chapter 2, it will be end of the chapter material. So wherever it says end of the chapter, that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the homework. So that's where you're going to look for the homework. So let's go to chapter 2, end of the chapter materials. And you're going to look at the very end, always the end of each chapter, to find the homework. So here's all it's called additional exercises. You can use these to do your homework. And so here's all the questions at the additional exercises at the end of each chapter. And then you'll find the answers for the odds there, so you can double check yourself, see if you're doing them right. So when I ask you guys to do homework, I want you to, if it's a concept question, sometimes you can use a word or a phrase. Sometimes you have to write the answer in sentences. So be as complete as possible, because we can't talk to each other in person. So I need to know what you're thinking. So try to be really complete in your answers. If you're doing math kind of problems, I need you to show me all of your work. So I need you to show me that you're going to evaluate this. You're going to write these down and then multiply them and say it equals, and then you have to write your answer in scientific notation. So I can't accept your work if you just give me this answer, because that's not showing me that you know how to do the math. So there's lots of math and chemistry, and I need you guys to show me your work so that I know that you know what you're doing. And then if you aren't setting it up correctly, I can look at that and help you before we get to quizzes and tests. So I really need to help you guys ahead of time so that you don't, so that you do everything correctly, and I can see if there's any problems that you're having, that I can give you a quick message saying, hey, this isn't quite right. You're not setting this up correctly. It's really important, especially at the beginning, that I can see your work to see if you're setting things up correctly, because a lot of chemistry builds on each other. So once you know one concept, then you're going to use it in the next section, the next chapter. And if you don't understand it at the beginning, you might get into a bad habit of setting something up incorrectly and not being able to figure out the math. So chemistry is really heavily math-based, because math is really the language of chemistry, so we need to be able to do the math correctly. So please remember that all homework is going to be at the end of chapter materials. And so sometimes I put page numbers there, but sometimes when you may not download the book, you may use it online, and the page numbers might not correspond. So when you're ready to do homework, after you've read the whole chapter and you've looked at the example problems that they have there, then go to the end of chapter each time to get the homework. And so each chapter is going to have end of chapter material. So please go there to find the homework for each chapter. So in each module, it's going to say we're in chapter 4 module, then, and it says do the homework, then there's going to be homework here at the end of the chapter. Okay, I hope that gives you a good introduction to the online textbook, and good luck. It's going to be fun working with you this semester. Thank you. Bye-bye.